So, another deal is North Korea. North Korea, you see, is the talk of the world at this moment because they, not at just this moment, but the recent years, they have been on the news. Nothing new, but it's the same politics, man. I think eventually they will get nuclear weapon. They cannot be stopped. Cause in this modern world, war will not benefit nobody. The best way to resolve issues is diplomatic, cause war causes death and doesn't benefit nobody, So, what's wrong if a country wants to get a nuclear weapon or so they could get nuclear energy? Countries like India, Pakistan, China, Russia, the United States, and the European countries, NATO, have nuclear weapons. So what's wrong if another country gets a nuclear weapon? First of all, they're the one who developed it first. So now you have to deal with it because you developed it, So now, what's wrong if a country formerly colonized by Japan wants to get a nuclear weapon so it could defend itself? You see, the North Koreans have been sanctioned and bullied, and so they have been bullied, sanctioned by a lot of countries, and the economy is not doing good. But so I think what they're trying to do is, based on their history, they're saying, let me first worry about my military. Let me equal other superpowers, and then we can move on, I think eventually that's what they're gonna do. First, they're gonna compete. They will try to compete with the superpowers, get advanced militarily, and then they eventually will become involved with the world. That's what's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure. They're gonna get the nuclear weapon, and then they will become another top superpower in the world because they have nuclear weapon. I bet you that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen with Iran too. I think a nuclear weapon is not just boom, boom, bomb, bomb. I think you can get nuclear energy out of it, which can create electricity. It's like a hydroelectric dam, but which produces electricity, So I think nuclear power is not just war. You can see it as for energy, to prosper a nation, It's not just, just for war. It's for other issues, North Korea will eventually get a nuclear weapon, whether you like it or not. Iran would do that too. First of all, the West invented it, so now they have to deal with it, So that's what's gonna happen, But as you see on YouTube, North Korea is depicted as a dictatorship which discriminates its citizens. Like I'll always say on this, we never know the truth. You can never see what's on the ground, No one can see what's on the ground. It's more of a speculation. Watching a video, no one knows what's going on the ground, You see, this goes back to where I was saying, where it's like if I stay in power, everything will be good. It's for the good of the people. no one can do it better than me. You know, that's what I understand through long time thinking is that's what most govern so-called dictators are seen as. And I think it's better if people that know that did it first let them keep it, and then sooner or later they will give it away, you know. So never know what's on the ground, you know. I think what the North Koreans are doing is I could feed you know I think they're still old school economics, or I think they're citizens farm still, so they can feed themselves. They don't need an international market. You see, the funny thing is, poor nowadays, it's not about food. It's more of GDP. It's more of a paper or a currency. Because the country is poor, it does not mean their people are eating. Because most of the countries that are probably poor in numbers, but are not poor in food, because they farm, they still pastoralist. You know what I'm saying? I think the only time they'll be affected is not by their GDP, but if there is a monsoon, or if there is a drought, a drought where they can't grow food, I think that's what North Korea is doing. You see, they still, I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong, they farm, rice, all the things we buy. We go and get the groceries, they just do it at their house. Imagine every family in America farming with enough land. You know how many land is? Have you seen the map of America and where people live? Just imagine if every population in the United States gets an acre. It's enough, man. I think if you see the map of just one state, it's enough for humans, for the population to get their own house, their own mansion and a ranch where they could just farm for food. You know what I'm saying? There's so much land, but I think that's what they're doing. So that's my view in North Korea. Eventually, let them get the nuclear weapon. Just instead of bothering, just go a diplomatic way. Just do it like Iran, like when India began its nuclear plant. They worked with the Europeans. They let them check everything. Now they're working with each other. What's wrong is most of the West and the United States are trying to police the world, which in my view can be good and bad at the same time. You can't govern the world. You created this system. First of all, the Europeans created boundaries, actually. I don't know if it was the Arabs, but you guys created boundaries, borders, because there used to never be borders. There used to never be no borders in the world, as history teaches us. But so that's what's gonna happen. I don't think I think it's just better for all these nuclear people just throw all the nuclear weapon and the knowledge of how to make it, just destroy it and don't teach it no more. But that's impossible, because some paranoid intelligence will say some other guys won't do it, so let's keep it. It's better if everyone just destroys their nuclear weapon, or anything that can kill an animal should be destroyed and disassembled, or whatever they call it. That's better for the world.